Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack kids for the tennis shoes, I'm stepping in. I know the ops mad, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.
Alright everyone, thanks for coming through today. This is episode 4 of Heartless Chat, Wine and Cheese Night with the ladies. You okay?
Sorry, we made eye contact.
Alright, let's jump right into the frivolousness. I heard something the other day from a group of women. I put it in my questions for you all today. I don't know if it's true or not, but when a woman is single, do you all actually create nicknames for guys that you're talking to?
Since high school, if I'm going to be fair. I don't have a lot of girlfriends. That's also a thing too. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I only heard that shit in high school. You know, like the fucking dude's name was Skittles or something.
No, it's not even like that. It's
Brit Boy.
Brit Boy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something boy. There's like something that defines it. It's like something boy.
It's fun.
So many.
But I've used so many names.
Yeah.
But for me, it's I don't give you your actual name until I know that you're serious.
Yeah.
You know? Otherwise, I'm I can't get attached to dude because you don't know if he's gonna be serious or not. So I'm
Does the guy ever get to hear the name?
No.
I told him if I like them, if we make it past the nickname stage, I'll be I'm not gonna lie. I called you
whatever
for the last month.
Crazy.
And they usually laugh.
My friends make the nicknames.
That's also fun.
So we they'll be oh, this guy, and one of them will be that's Big Ginger.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name, and we'll tell them. I'm if it's not nice, it's not our issue. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not necessarily to keep it a secret from them. It's because what is that man's name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to gain the respect to be called their name.
True.
Well, honestly, if I'm hanging out with a guy one time, I have names for people. That's for sure.
Yeah, Maui Boy.
That's one. But I don't know either.
I'm trying to figure out if guys do the same thing, and I don't think we do.
I feel like they pick a body part and they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, tits from where? Or locations.
Yeah,
you pick blonde from this bar, you know?
Maybe in description, but we don't have a specific nickname. That's just me. I don't know about it. I've never heard
Isn't
it.
the description similar to a nickname? Just like she was saying? She's just it's this guy, I fucking met him at a rodeo.
No, you all remember the fucking nicknames.
No, but it's funny when your friend doesn't know his actual name, she only knows the nickname.
Yeah.
So then one day you switch up and you're oh, I'm gonna go see so and so. And she's sorry, who? And you're I meant the nickname. And she's oh, true. How because they don't know their real name?
Yeah.
Okay. Could the right partner make you delete all your social media?
No.
Because why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the reason?
If their job required people in their family to have no social,
That's
the
different.
same.
Okay.
I could be there for that sort of scenario.
Is there a preference?
My keywords are right person. This person checks all the boxes.
But I think being insecure.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's what is the reason that would be?
Yeah.
Because the right person isn't insecure, has weird control issues.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be the right person.
Conclusively, none of us would choose somebody who's you have to delete your social media. So that person will just never be.
I know.
It might be different if the person is I don't like that you post cleavage photos, and you can be okay, let's have a discussion about it. But not if you met that person, that's who you wanted to be with.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to change because they're with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you met them as who they are,
Mhm.
and that's who they are. If they're a bad person, why do you want to be with a bad person? But if they're someone that is comfortable with themselves and they have a very specific persona, especially online, that's who you're with. If you're uncomfortable by something, you can have a discussion, not you need to delete this and delete everyone you know because I don't like that they can see you. That's who they've been the whole time.
And
Or
social media,
if
it isn't even just
posting. It's like contact. Like that's how I keep in contact with 50, 70, 80% of the people in my life, and you want to cut me off from that?
Yeah.
Like,
Even family too. Like I feel like that's a big thing for me is so my family can also see because I don't necessarily have the time to call my family all the time. So posting my things on Instagram that way my family can kind of keep up with my life and they're updated. They know what I'm doing. Yeah.
Just let them know you're still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little controversial now. Okay, so I asked that question to hear so I'm gonna ask you the next question now. If it's a no, right? Do you all mind exchanging passwords to each other's social media?
I mean, sure.
You get his or hers, and they get yours or whatever.
I would never want to need to look.
Yeah.
No, it's not about looking. It's just.
But even then, it's just like you trust your partner.
Yeah, like I feel
you
like
should
you're
have
asking
nothing
to
to
hide.
hide.
Yeah, it's like there's some underlying mistrust somewhere.
Yeah.
Just otherwise you wouldn't ask.
The reason why I said that because when I was in the airport industry, I worked with a couple, and they're big. They have a big family and everything. I'm not going to call their names for private reasons, whatever. But they had one account, and it was their names together.
Right.
And it was just one account, and both of them had the same account on, and they just shared each other's friends and everything like that. So.
I feel like it's case sensitive though, because lots of people use their like Instagram or whatever as their outlet. Like, I don't know if you like for me, I model, right? So I post my photos on there. I'm not gonna do that on a joint account with my boyfriend.
No.
Because it's my personal outlet to use as basically as a scrapbook, right? So like, I don't know, but if you choose, like if I'm dating somebody and we're like, oh, we should have a joint Instagram account, then that's totally different. But like, I don't know, I feel like it's really case sensitive.
I feel
What were you gonna say?
I would not give my password because on my personal account, it's a lot of other people's information. Like my friends have messaged me being like, this is what's happened, blah, 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 blah. And like, I don't. So for me, I just wouldn't feel like it's okay to share that with my partner because my friends didn't consent to whoever I'm with also reading my stuff. And so like, that would be the line for me, less so than like, do I feel comfortable with you reading my stuff? Because it's like other people, you know, it's like their private info.
Yeah. I've had a partner like go through my phone and I'm like, if that's going to make you feel better, like I'm not going to go and change my passwords. But I also, at the point that you feel like you should be, like I've been that person to go through someone's phone, you're like, I don't want to be this person. And so the minute that you feel like you have to, I'm
There's
like,
a bigger
sorry.
issue,
Yeah.
So like, if somebody, I would hope there'd be a conversation of like, if something was up and you're like, can I look at your phone? Like, yeah, but like, do you need to have access to my stuff? I also use one password for everything.
You're one of those people who they start posting Bitcoin stuff on there. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Those are good answers, but I mean, I don't have a problem with. I don't think I would ever need somebody to share my passwords. If they want to see access to it, they can have access to it, but
I think it's important to have maybe each other's phone passwords only because for like safety reasons, not because I need to be going through your phone when you're not in the room, but for safety. You don't need to know my social passwords, like that's irrelevant. But I think a lot of people also forget when you get into a relationship, you're still a person and you still need to be independent no matter what.
Privacy.
Yeah, because you're still your own person. You were a person before you met your partner, and you know if there's something you're uncomfortable about, again, it's just about a conversation. If you can't have that conversation, like you said, like it's already done. So
yeah, like my boyfriend.
I guess there is a line though. Like I had an ex who we were together like years, and I don't think I like held his phone more than like a few times. Like that's another line of where you're like, I don't even want you to be like holding the phone and like engage, like changing the music. And I think upon reflection, that was too far. But I feel like passwords to social media is like a whole other, that's a whole other end of the spectrum. But yeah, like password to your phone, like you were saying, like I want that. What if something happens to me and I'm in the hospital? Like I definitely want you to be able to call my grandma and tell her I'm okay. I don't want to get in the way of that. So.
It's also one of those things where it's like if you have trust, like I have no reason to be on your Instagram. Like if I'm not worried about you texting whoever or whatever, why would I even need to check? Like what am I gonna look at your memes that you send with your boys? You know?
Exactly.
I don't really care.
They could be really funny.
They could be funny. You never send it to me like, there's not really a point. My past relationships, I've had people go through my phone and I've never done anything wrong, but then you end up finding out that it's actually them. It's them who's doing shit and they're projecting, right? So
Exactly.
like, I never touched bro's phone, and then one day I picked it up because we had the same one. So I like grabbed his phone, thought it was mine, and I like looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that's not mine." And then I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, "Hold on, back up." But he went through my phone all the time. Like I would go out with my friend or whatever. I get home, I wake up in the morning, and dude's on my phone in the corner, and I'm like, okay. But it was him. It wasn't. It wasn't ever a me thing. It was always him doing it, and then projecting it because he's like, well, if she's doing this, then if I'm doing this, that means she must be also doing it, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you have trust, then there's never even a reason for you to need each other's social media passwords.
I feel like you just need a healthy balance. Like, if you want to be able to ask your partner for their phone password and they aren't willing to give that to you, like, maybe reflect on that.
Yeah, because immediately, like, if I went to my partner and I was like, hey, can I go on your phone? And he was like, no. I'd be like, but why?
Yeah.
Because what's the reason? Like, what do you have on your phone that I can't see or that makes you uncomfortable? And, like, I don't know. There's definitely, like, boundaries and balance with it, but for the most part, I feel like if you trust each other, you never need to know the
And if
password.
you have nothing to hide, like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
What about people who bluff? Like, oh, you want it? Take it. And then they know they have shit to hide.
Then you're looking at
A lot of times they're like, okay, you know what? You're right, you know. And
No, that's just like when they're like, well, like I never did anything. Go through everything. I'll just delete every app I've ever had. And you're just like,
literally, I'll just get rid of it all. I'm just the worst. One of those.
Okay. What is the absolute one deal breaker for you if you're talking to someone?
One.
Like this new one. Like this is the one thing you can't stand.
Is this with someone you're like just dating or just like
You've been with for like, let's say, I'm gonna say 6 months deep. And they did that one thing and they're like, you fucked up, that's it.
Okay, so it's not just like they're like world views because you know that before you get 6 months into that, but it's not just like
they did something that really turns you off. Yeah.
For me, it's name calling. Like, if you're mad at me, you bitch. Like,
I just thought of something like that. Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
It just like, I'm like, it's different. If you just want to have a conversation, I get it. We have different opinions, whatever. Yell at me, scream at me, I don't care. We'll figure it out. But if you're trying to hurt me in the process of trying to figure out how to solve this fucking problem, why am I here?
Yeah.
Oh, I gets me so bad. Honestly, for me, I learned my lesson. If I ever get a "Hey girly" text again, you're done immediately. Because the "Hey girly," I threw a ski helmet at his head. You're done. You're done.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely it. A "Hey girl," I'm like,
So only, you mean specifically from a guy, or like if a girl messages you and say, hey girl, is that
No, that's
hey girl, your boyfriend's in my DMs? No, you're done.
That's what
That's
it
it.
really is.
Yeah, because I would never like say, I don't know.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, I'm kind of late. I
didn't know. Oh, you didn't know.
I just got it. I'm so slow.
I didn't know that.
All right, okay.
It only had to happen once, and then you're like, yeah, I'm good off that.
Or if, like, my partner hurt one of my really good friends really badly.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be hard to try to navigate.
Yeah.
Especially if it was clearly, like, my partner in the wrong. I wouldn't, like, that's not, like, I guess that's not the answer I'm trying to say, because I wouldn't just cut everything off because of
It would be
that.
their failure to see that they were in the wrong.
Yeah.
You know, would be the thing. Yeah.
There's too many.
There's so
Yeah,
many.
like even that, like not being able to see when you're in the wrong, that's a huge turn off because it's like,
Also,
like, just-
like context too.
Yeah.
Like I say for myself, the biggest thing for me is if they try to hurt my feelings by calling me something mean. Like I've been in a situation with someone who would constantly call me mean names. I guess that's now just me thinking back and being like, okay, I'll never put up with that again. But yeah, just kind of like context, and I don't know, you just have to be like brave enough to be like, no, this isn't okay.
And that's hard.
Yeah,
That part is hard.
Yeah, because
Being like, I don't deserve this.
all of us
Yeah.
can say,
So you know
this
deep
is
down
like,
too,
I'm
yeah.
never gonna, as I was like sitting here trying to think about it, I was like, I could name 100 things, and I was like, no, I'll probably do that again.
No, because I stayed.
I've
I
done
got
it
the girl
before.
in Tyson. I stayed. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love is blind.
There's like there's a shady way of being like, hey girl, and then there's like a
like you're bragging almost.
there is. No, because that's the thing too. Like I've sent the hey girl text, but you know what? I literally typed it. I was like, hey girl, and then I was like, no, I can't fucking say that. And then I come up with a new intro because I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, hey girl, you know.
Yeah.
So you come up with a new intro, but there's definitely girls who will come across and they'll be like shady about it. They're like, oh, your man's in my DMs, you know.
Yeah.
So I think,
I've
but
never
it doesn't
had,
matter.
like, I find that women go to other women about it because the man's already lied to your face. So why would I have
Also
a
true.
conversation with him?
Also
But I've
true.
also never had to have that conversation with a woman because when I'm having like relations with a woman, she's not out here talking to somebody else.
So what has happened to you with
Damn. Damn.
So you're saying you've never been cheated on by a woman?
You bet.
I've been cheated on.
By a woman?
Yeah, but I haven't really been in very many like more. It was like we had agreements within our like non-monogamous relationship, and then people stepped out of those agreements. That's been my experience. No matter the gender of the partner, it would be an agreement and people would step out of it. I don't think that's a non-monogamy problem. Like I think that's like clearly a problem in monogamy too. But like I just probably shouldn't have trusted those people in the way that I did. But yeah, I don't know. That is really like I did really struggle with that because I was like this other girl. Ooh, yeah. Especially like when one of my exes lied and then stayed with her, and I was like, she doesn't know what's coming. Like, is it my responsibility to say something? But also, like, if someone is like excited and this guy is like sparkly, what can I say?
It's also hard to
that she's gonna
I don't
hear.
want to see like say you're the ex, right? Say my last man's he didn't, but say he cheated on me, and you know he starts dating this girl, or say he was like abusive, like say he was verbally and emotionally abusive, right? And he starts dating next girl, and you kind of want to reach out because you're like, this guy is bad news, but you don't want to seem like the toxic ex who's just like crazy, and you know you're like, oh, don't date this guy because so like. I feel like it depends.
I don't think that's necessary. Like, I think in time they will eventually see that person's colors.
But also, sometimes dudes are crazy, and you want to give people a warning because they're like, stay the fuck away from
And if
me.
someone has like a like that was my struggle, is I was like, every one of his exes has had this like horrible. So it's not just like a one-off. When it's like a pattern, you're like, is it my responsibility? But I was like, no, it's his friend's responsibility.
Also that,
like, this is not actually mine. This should be other people's.
I'm completely different. Like, I think because if it's a reoccurring thing or whatever, or I'm like, if there's a warning that needs to be said, I think no matter what, you should always try and help out another life. Always. If it's good intentions, it's completely up to them to take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
that's
like, it
true.
has nothing, because you want to sleep at night. That's my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, if you did everything in your power to be like, yo, listen, he's a fucking jackass, this, that, everything, you know, this, that, and the other, air all of his shit out. And if she doesn't take it,
doesn't listen to
like, then that's like, you know, that's her decision. There's nothing that you can do. But I was also the person being cheated on. Like, I had a condo with this guy. I lived with him for about a couple of years, this, that, and the other, and everything. And I found out that he had a relationship while I was deployed.
Should we key his number?
But she knew this thing is she knew who I was the other thing. And what I wanted to do before I confronted him, I needed to know more information.
Yeah.
So that's why I sent the hey girly text.
Actually,
I went and met her for coffee, and I'm like, I need to know every fucking thing. So when I come and confront his ass, I'm like, no. Your story doesn't add up. No. You can't come and crawling back to me, this, that, and the other. I'm like, because I know everything.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Honestly, the craziest.
I would say though, I've been in situations where I see women can be, and don't jump on me for this. They can be very vindictive sometimes. I'm gonna tell you why. I've been in situations where a woman is interested in you and they try to fuck up the relationship so that they can get to you.
But I feel like you can tell though. Like you can tell by the way that she words things and the way that she talks about it, you know, like
If they're just
And if you can at the beginning,
Yeah.
yeah.
like you should be able to tell throughout the conversation. And like the thing is though, sometimes you're blinded. Like when this happened to me when I got the hey girly text, honestly I was hostile. Like when I responded, I was
Really?
like, yeah, I was like, well he you know, I said something foul. I'm not gonna lie. And then the next day I was like, wait, I actually need the receipt.
You need receipts.
Yeah, because he deleted text. You know when you look at somebody's combo and you're like,
And it's gone?
something's
Yes.
not making sense here, and you're like, oh, there's messages missing. So I had to text her. I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I was kind of an asshole, but like I need the receipts so that I can confront him proper because I want to know what was said. But like I feel like you can always kind of tell, and you can catch a vibe with the way that they're texting you if it's like shady or if they're actually being like, your man is being weird, you know?
It's worth hearing out though. Like,
Yeah, like you, because that's the thing, even if it's like morbid curiosity, you always want to listen and be like, what was he doing?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, wait, tell me.
See, and that was
what was he doing?
Too. That's exactly it.
I got one of those texts like after the fact, like after I caught my partner cheating, and then there was like a group of girls who were like,
A group?
like there was like a group of them. Like I said, like through like we had a mutual friend, and they're like, oh yeah, we always like thought to reach out to her, like me, like we always thought to reach out to her to warn her, but we never did because blah blah blah. And I'm like reading that like years after like being with someone, it's like, yeah, I would have wanted to know that at the beginning. Like that was
This is the reverse side where you like I knew a girl who was, and this was like an ongoing thing. Like she was hooking up with this guy. Guy had a girlfriend, and then guy and girlfriend broke up because she found out that he was hooking up with other girl.
Yeah.
And then he got a new girlfriend, and they were still hooking up. And I remember her saying to me, she's like, "Well, yeah, he's dating this girl, but like it's not my job to be loyal to her, so it doesn't matter." And I was like, "Oh, we're not friends anymore." Like. The reverse side of it, when you're really, really not a girl's girl and you won't send the hey girly text and you're just gonna keep doing it even though that you know that like somebody's being hurt, that's next level. That at that point, like
I'll even do it with my guy friends.
That's what I'm saying.
If I
Like, you
know
should
that my
always
guy
be
friend is
honest.
fucking around on his girl, no way. I'm gonna stand her. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you joking? Like,
Yeah.
no, he's a piece of shit. He's not my friend anymore. Let's go fucking drink about it. You
Let's
know?
just say like, oh, like he's cheating with me,
Yeah.
but like she's not.
I'm glad
not
you said
loyal to
that
her.
because I don't even have this question for you all, but I want to ask it anyway. You're friends with a couple. Both of them are cheating.
Tell him.
You telling both of them that both of them are cheating?
Yeah, totally. Because either they'll figure it
That's
out
none of your
or they're
business.
No,
not.
but I'm gonna just say, listen, I mean, if you need it to be not your business, you just word it in a way that's kind of like ambiguous. You know? You're
There
like,
you go.
I feel like you guys are not a good couple. You should maybe not be dating anymore.
Next time someone says that to me, I'm just like, oh god. I'm cheating, I didn't even know.
Coming from experience having to be the middleman twice for two of my friends' relationships,
rough.
it was harder on me than it was on them. I'm like, I'm not your boyfriend, nor am I your girlfriend. So why am I the one doing all the hard work? And it's like, I need a sip of wine after this because I feel like I'm in a monogamous relationship that I didn't even sign up for. So it's like, why am I the one doing all the hard work? So you guys need to talk it out, and I'm gonna just sit here as your therapist and then go to play-by-play and be like, you an idiot, and you need to say something, and then hug it out or kiss and something, and then be like, can I go? Like, are we done? Can you pay me first?
Why can't you just use it as entertainment and just let it unfold? Both of them are your friends.
Because what if it's the case for you? Some people will be
Yeah.
like, I don't want to know, blah, blah, blah.
But you're cheating too. That's what I said. Both of you all are cheating.
Then you
Wait,
probably should
then they deserve it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just break up.
Yeah, you probably don't. You're probably not happy.
You're standing from outside of the box looking in.
The reason why people cheat, well, I'm just saying this, but the reason why people cheat is because they're not having all their needs met.
Yeah.
And so if you're not having your needs met, go find the person that you're.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I'm like, if you're gonna cheat, just break up. Like, obviously, you're not getting what you need, so go find somebody who'll give it to you.
Okay. Define cheating.
That's so
That's
no. Whatever you agree to as the like confines of your relationship, if you step out of it, that's cheating. If you make an agreement, like whether you're monogamous or not, if you do something that's outside of the agreement, that's cheating.
Yeah, and even if it's one of those things where it's like you never really talked about those specific boundaries, but it comes up and you make it clear that you're not okay with that.
Right.
If you continue, like say I had a conversation with like my best friend, one of them is a guy, so like if I had a conversation with him and my partner was like, yo, I'm not comfortable with that, and I continued to have those conversations, then you're crossing that boundary. So like it might not come up right away and you might make that accident or make that mistake, but like once it's mentioned, then
don't do it again.
Boundaries.
And lying too. Like if there's lying
or if you have
about something, it's like, oh, but it wasn't cheating. It's like, well, then why are you lying about?
Why are you lying? If you ever have to like delete
that,
a text message or anything, that's cheating.
Or even have to lie about talking to somebody.
Yeah.
It's just like that is just like no, I've been in that situation. I'm like, why are you lying? If there's nothing that's going on between it, why are you lying? Unless it's something deeper emotionally, like that you don't want to talk about. Like that's not my business. I don't stay here for that. You figure that out. Like I'm like about that. So
if you know you have to hide something, like you know you shouldn't be doing
that's
it, then like that's it. So when people are like, oh, like I shouldn't send that snap, but like I did, but it's not cheating, and you're like, okay, you knew it was wrong.
What was your thought? Like if you have any like guilt about it, if you feel convicted at all, you're probably cheating.
Okay, so kissy faces, hard sends.
No, that's context.
It depends. It really depends.
I read this thing online and it was this cheating starts with sneaky conversations. Like end of story. It's like, you know, if you have to hide anything, like everything else.
Exactly that. If I would maybe send a kissy face to my guy friend, let's say, while I'm in a relationship, but I would show that to I would have showed that to my ex and it'd be fine. But if I'm sending that to someone who I wouldn't want my partner to see, then that's a problem.
When men on Instagram that I know have girlfriends are replying heart eyes and fire emojis to my story, I like the story. It's
liking the story.
I do not get that at all. People have said that to me. I had a friend who was like, oh yeah, like I know you're interested in this person because they told me that you liked his story, and I was like, yeah, like he was talking about something super cool. So I've never been the type to be like, I'm liking your story because I want your attention.
But I think it depends on the story though. Like when you have somebody who's like, I posted, I don't know if all of you follow me, I posted a little
saw it.
I post that and bro likes it, I'm like, this is obviously me, like I'm trapping a little bit, I'm like, it's a silhouette, but I'm trapping and you're liking it, then I'm like, that's sus. But if I was like on there talking about like, I don't know, my mental health or like, or if I was on like a hike or something like that,
it really depends on the
totally
context.
different story.
I don't even see likes as a big deal because like I'll heart every single story, but when people specifically go into the reactions and it's like the heart eyes and like the flame, I'm like, that's too far. That's like that's almost like commenting on something.
It's like a silence. They had to think about what they had to say.
They said they're like, which emoji should I choose?
They send that heart eyes and they're like, that's the one.
She's gonna respond to this one.
It's so nuanced though, because my really good friend, her mom, bless her, replies to every one of my Insta stories and often does like a flirty emoji. You're like, she doesn't mean that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I have dated people who I think have like no social media skills. And I could see them genuinely not being flirty but it being
it comes back to context though, right? Like and the thing is too, like if you know the person, I don't have anybody who's not social media savvy, but like sorry, that sounded terrible. But like if I did,
I like to date people who are older than me.
That's fine. But like if I knew that they weren't really like that and they were like liking my story, like if it was one of my friends and I'm like, oh, he doesn't really get it, I'd be like, oh, he doesn't get it. But if it's somebody that you know for certain where you're like, this guy's like purposely liking my story and I know his girlfriend is chilling beside him type shit, then like
sometimes you can just tell.
You can fucking
I don't know how to like describe it, but you can just tell.
It's brutal out here.
This question, it's weird because now the majority of the room is bisexual. So I have to rephrase it different.
I'm gonna carry.
So So now I'm gonna rephrase the question based on the majority rules thing. Okay. So you have to rock back a little bit on this one. When going out with someone, does it differentiate based on the person that you're going out, the gender you're going out with, who is going to pay, or if you're interested in that person, like
No.
Who initiated the plan?
That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Who asked? If you're like, I want to take you to dinner this weekend, that's on you.
But
If I say, let's go get coffee, that's on me.
so none of y'all have never felt obligated for the next person to pay, even though you wanted to go out.
I got a story.
I have a story.
Okay.
Tell us the story.
I went on a date fairly recently. It was fine. Played. It was. I hope you're watching. We went out. We had tapas. It was a nice time. I was invited to dinner. The plates, as we were getting ready to leave, were like all stacked on his side of the table. So the waitress came over and like put the bill on my side and was like, "I would happily split that with you." What? Oh, excuse me. And I was looking him dead in the eyes, and I was like, "I have this. Don't even worry about it." And he was like, "No, we can split it." And I was like, "You asked me here," and so I paid it. And I was like, "Yeah." And now he's like, "When do I get to see you again?" You don't.
Sorry, what was your name? Oh, nickname? I like to play hangman, you know? I'm like, you only have as many letters as your name is.
His name
One gets crossed off.
3 letters.
Yeah,
He's already gone.
2 letters for that.
If it's a first date, like that matters.
Yeah.
Like that's your first impression. And if
Yeah.
they're not even willing to pay for your meal on the
A
first date,
$60
man
meal.
or woman, like if you're like
And I feel like if they feel like they should split it, then that should be, I keep saying this, I'm so redundant, but a conversation.
Absolutely.
Hey, you want to go on this date? Are you cool to split the bill?
or go for a walk. If you can't afford to pay for
Totally.
dinner, make it
Or a $5 coffee.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
There are
you
a
know?
million options, but it's
out.
and like if I appreciate, I'm like, let's get food. I will pay for that.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
go into that, and like if you offer to pay and we do like the check dance,
Yeah.
sure. But if I invite you to plans, I'm going into that with the assumption that I'm able and willing to pay for the whole thing.
Of course.
See, and every time I accept a date, I'm always at the expectation that I'm going to be paying half.
Yeah.
So that's always
You're prepared for both.
Yeah, so I'm like, if someone asks me out, I'm like, I'm gonna say yes to this, knowing that I'm gonna offer you to pay half because depending on the place too, like if you take me to fucking Il Torizo, it's $100 meal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So it's
how
like,
would they just grab the bill?
right? You know?
Like,
Yeah. Or like you get to go pee and it's already paid. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, you know.
Yeah.
it's such a compliment too, because you're like, you really spend money on me.
So for the bisexual people, because I asked the question, but all you all talking about guys.
Well,
For the woman, like if a woman takes you out, they say they're taking you out and they take you out, and then they ask you to split the bill. Do you feel the same way?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't feel that.
That's what
It's a much bigger wrong. Yeah, than if
But I also like I don't know if I've ever like not just offered like no matter the gender, like I always just like say we can split it, but I don't know. But
see, as a straight person, I'm a little traditional. Like, if a guy takes me out on a first date and he asks me out, I expect him to pay.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to split it if need be, and I will offer. But like at the end of the day, I'm like, you invited me here, and also I think it comes down to like, I'm trying to be in my feminine energy. I want to be taken care of. So like, if we split it, that's cool. Whatever, we can have that conversation. But like, generally speaking, I think I agree with Courtney. Whereas like, if I invite you out, or if you invite me out, then like, I'm expecting to take you out. You know.
But for me, I think it's less about gender than class. Like if one person in the relationship has like a lot more money, like, and I've been that person in the relationship, I will offer to pay, regardless of gender. Like if somebody's a student or like whatever. But yeah, like, and I think it was really hard for me to step into the position I'm in now where my partner has like a lot more money than me, and it made me uncomfortable at first, and now I'm like, but why? Because I was always thing
That's true.
when I had more. But it's not about gender. But if it was a woman who had a lot of money, grew up wealthy, and she asked me to split the bill, I would be like,
Yeah.
I would say this. I don't know. I'm not speaking for all men. I'm gonna say this on my behalf. I feel like a real bitch when if somebody pay for me,
Why?
like.
Because
I'm just saying for me.
you're a masculine man, that's why.
If I go out with somebody and I always do things by memory. If I go out with you, the first time I'm gonna do all the things that I'm supposed to do. And if you allow me to do those things, I'm gonna keep it up. But the minute you tell me it's not necessary, then I'm not gonna do it again.
Remind me to let you pay always. Next time you're like, hey, look, you want to grab lunch? I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's on you.
No, my mother taught me this from young. It's like, if you have no money, stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
Like, you know how much times people message me, yo, doggy, we're going downtown, bro. Like, I'm like, nah, yo, I'm inside.
Yeah.
Because I know I have shit coming up. I have to do this, and it's not in my budget.
Yeah.
And bro, come on, man, you never. I'm staying inside. And it's the same thing with people asking me to go out. I'll go out, and I might have. I'm not saying. I might have $30, but I'm gonna make sure I'm taking you to a place where I could pay for everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna. I don't want you to be like, oh, and then I go home. I'm driving home. I'm like, oh fuck.
I'm broke.
This person
3
paid
days.
for me, or you know what the fuck, like, yeah, that's just me. I don't know how other people think. I know some men are now on the whole 50-50 thing, and that's cool, but
I had a guy tell me, and he'll probably see this, so shout out you, because you'll know. All love, though. But, like, he told me that it was a red flag that I didn't offer to pay on the first date.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Suck my fucking toes. Are you joking?
did he explain why?
No.
Did
not
he ask
really.
you out on the first date? Like, was it like?
Yeah. If it's a first date, suck it.
And to be fair,
Fuck.
I'm gonna say this to the
Whoever
camera,
he is.
whichever camera, because if you are gonna see this, I don't know if you were joking or not, and I'm still not certain. But he did say that, and I was like,
That's not joking. There's always a hint of truth and shit like that. There ain't no way. You know?
You know what's crazy is like I feel like some men want to be called like daddy and be super masculine.
no, but they don't want to be daddy though.
But they in real life don't want to be.
No,
Yeah.
it's like if you want me to call you daddy, then fucking be
Then
daddy.
pay for my bill.
Yeah, pay my rent. Honestly. I'm not calling you daddy unless you pay my rent.
okay, but I'm gonna say this one thing from my perspective. I'm not sure. I haven't been all around you guys to see how you date and whatever, but a lot of times women don't allow men to do it. They ask for it up front, which is kind of like
Wait, ask for what?
like
To be
they demand it up front. Like,
Demand
yo,
what?
I need this.
So what?
Huh?
But would you rather that though?
So they demand stuff like, oh, if you're gonna be talking to me, I need this. These are my requirements, like a checklist type
Girls
stuff.
are like that? Is that what you're saying?
Well, some people. I'm not saying. I'm not generalizing.
I mean, I feel like there's nothing like if you're like I'm gonna say this term loosely because it's
No,
what
I
the
don't.
mind is telling me.
That's a friend. That's a friend.
If you're a high maintenance, I'm gonna say if you're a high maintenance woman, like say you're like, if I'm dating you, I expect you to pay for me to get my nails done. I expect you to take care of this or that. Is that the wrong word? High maintenance?
No.
Okay.
That's the definition.
Tell me on it. If you're a high maintenance person or you're the kind of person who's expecting that kind of thing, I feel like that's valid for you to be upfront about it because what if you start seeing each other, you're chilling, but bro can't do all that because he's not in that position. Yeah, and then like it's fine for him to not be in that position, but if that's what you need, he's not the guy for you, right?
Yeah.
Well, so like,
Sorry, go.
oh, I mean like he might be. I don't know. Maybe you'll get past it. You'll be like, actually, I don't need to get my nails done. I don't know, but like I feel like it's okay for you to be upfront so that he's not like bombarded with it randomly when you're like, hey, so I'm gonna go spend X amount of money and I need you to send it to me, and he's like,
No.
sorry, what? You know?
Yeah,
so I feel like
so
it's fair to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like it really comes down to like if it's the right person for you, it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if somebody approaches you and they're like, I want this, this, and this, and you're like, yeah, I got you, then that's the person for you. If you're like, no, I can't do that, then that's not the person. So at least you know right off the bat and it's done and over with.
Yeah, and I find that it doesn't just have to be whether you regard yourself as like a high value woman. I just find that there could be other ways of just checking that box. Like, for example, their morals or their values, their views in life, which I find more important than just like if they have the biggest bank account in the world. Because like if you can't deal with them as a person on their views and just how they act, then the money just won't matter to me because then you just look corny. It's like you're a baby with all these toys that you don't know how to play with.
And I feel like paying is just a reflection of effort, but like that effort can be reflected in other ways. Like if you're not financially stable, you can still show effort in ways that aren't paying. Like that's just
like just because you can't buy me a $150 necklace doesn't mean you can't make me a car.
Yeah.
It's like prioritizing time. Like you doesn't have to cost anything to make somebody your priority.
It's like those memes you see where it's like, oh, like I really want gifts, and then it's just like love letters, like handwritten things.
I wouldn't. Like high maintenance is the same thing. Like well, I wouldn't say that. It's completely different, but it's same. You will always have a checkbox. You know, like you will always have certain standards. You will always have certain boundaries. You will always have certain things. It's what makes finding a partner the point. You know, like that's
That's a good point. Like high maintenance was a bad word actually because you can be high maintenance like emotionally. Like,
But I'm like it's completely different. I'm like everybody has a fucking checkbox. Everybody does. You know, I'm like whether you know it or not. I'm like there's always going to be things that you will tolerate and there's always going to be things that you will not.
And wouldn't it be great for all of us if up front people were like, hey, these are my 10 things. And you're like, you know what? 6 of those are not going to work for me in the next year. Let's not waste each other's time.
That's what I call
a red flag. Actually, I went on a date with a guy. I went on a date with a guy and he was like, up front, I told you about this just now. And bro said, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty possessive and I can be crazy. And I was like,
it's kind of hot.
I was like, like that's a month later, I'm like, what the fuck? In the moment, like, I'm like, no, thank you for being upfront. Like, if you're self-aware enough to know, like, I'm really possessive, I would way rather you tell me that than, like, me find out a month in. When I'm,
when
like,
you move in.
Or a year later. Or a year later.
You moved in.
Then even a week later.
You're pregnant.
Tell me up front now, and let me find out while we're in the beginning stages, then have me move in with you, and we have a child together. Next thing you know.
Honestly, if you don't find out that bro is possessive until that point, something is wrong.
There have been some cases, like I've been reading horror stories about girls who admitted their abusive relationships. It doesn't start in the beginning. It starts when they get married and they settle. And they don't find out until like they have a kid together. It's like, oh shit, this guy was really playing his cards, trying to lock me in.
It starts when you're emotionally invested. When you don't just want to like, even when things are bad, you don't just want to cut it off.
And then even then, the guy can sometimes calculate just not to have this facade show until he knows you're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
And then that's when they start to show.
And then
So I'm gonna end this segment with a scenario.
Oh God, right.
I thought that was a scenario.
No, that's not a scenario. This is a scenario. Scenario.
Ready.
You're dating this person for 8 months.
No.
On the everything is going good.
I'm sorry.
It's going so good, you decide to move in with each other.
Okay.
So you move in with each other, and this person has 2 jobs. They have their own job, and then they have a side business that they're working on. As time go on, you're into a year and 2 months now, 3 months, whatever. You come home, you open up an envelope on the counter by mistake. When you open up the counter, when you open up the letter, you realize that this person is like $60,000-$70,000 in debt.
Ooh.
But you like the individual. In this scenario, you have $500,000 in your savings account. if you pay off this person's $70,000 debt and you invest $50,000 into their business, the business has a potential of making millions. And this is after having a conversation with the individual about their debt and their business that they're in. You having $500,000 that you have saved to your own money, like to your own work and dedication and everything like that, would you invest that type of money into somebody that you're interested in?
Yes.
After living with them for a year and 3 months?
I think I would invest that money, but the problem is that I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Like, why was that kept a secret?
Like that's a fat chunk of
Like that, you know, like had I known the whole time and they were upfront with it, and I have $500,000, like, and it can have the potential for millions, like, yeah, I would support my partner, but why is it a secret and why am I finding out that way? Like,
because it's only been a year.
Yeah. But you're living together? I don't know, but as far as living together, you share your financial 70 grand in debt is big. Like, that's not something you should keep. When you're, because you're living together, you're common law. Right? Like, you're legally married by that point. Like, it's important to share.
Yeah, you're common law by that time.
So
I also wouldn't pay off their debt. I would have to take a more heavily financial role in the household. So, like, maybe I'm paying like more of the rent, or I'm paying for the groceries, or I'm paying for the car note, or whatever. But why would I pay off your debt? I'd like to help enable you to pay off your debt. But that isn't my responsibility. I would happily contribute to a business with a proper business plan and like buy in for a future, but your debt is your debt. But I will help you set yourself up to pay your debt off, but that's not my job.
I think it's circumstantial as well. Like if you're married, like I also think marriage means a lot of different things to different people. But you know, if you're set, you know, you guys have a plan for the future. You have no reason to, what's the word? Like question the relationship. Then maybe in that case, that's something you'd be willing to do. But before that, like if we're just dating, we've been together for a year, 3 months, and then all of a sudden I find this out. I pay off your debt, and then they say, you know what?
See ya.
Bye. You're
actually true.
But you would own majority of their company that they would have been starting anyway. So realistically,
at least
you could pull that investment.
But
and
how
still
do you
kick
know
them.
that the business is going to be good 5-10 years down the road?
In my mind, I'd be like, if the business has potential, no, but if it has potential, then why are you?
Everything has potential to make money. I can go out on the road with an empty bottle and probably sell it for 5 cents.
Get to it, man.
It has the potential to make money.
I mean, this question is just biased for me because I don't really see money as a motivator for anything in life.
So you'll take the person out of that.
Honestly, I would help with a payment plan, like $1,000 a month, or as she said, get into maybe 2 or 3 extra jobs so that way he has more leeway in order to cover off his debt. But it's just like money, it's like cool, you can make millions, but at the same time, just money, I know it won't make me happy. I'd rather just go off and experience like cool, fun other things.
I guess that's fair.
Again, just like I would definitely just help set up a payment plan. Like I'll give $1,000 away or whatever I can spare, and then take on 2 or 3 other jobs so you can coast by. But again, like if the business is shady or just in general, like you're not in it for the money, it's like, nah, I can't really see myself doing that, but I'll still support you.
I feel like for me to involve my finances, like I would really have to trust the person, and the fact that it's in this situation a year and 3 months down the line and you're just finding this out now, like that throws a wrench in trust. So I feel like it's kind of iffy for me to want to like involve my finances. On a business side of things, if I believe that their business had potential, I would do that for myself, like not even for them. If I love them and it, like maybe for them, but I'm just saying like financially myself, it'd be difficult for me to want to involve that if there's no trust.
I'm gonna throw a curveball, and I didn't have this plan, but you guys just gave me a fucking brilliant idea. I'm gonna have this. I didn't have this plan. This is on you all. I'm gonna have a fucking guys' night, beers and wings.
Why didn't we get beers and wings? Because I'm not mad about this, but we could have had beers and
You see how you all are? Chicory boy, oh my god, it's so nice. Oh my god, look at the cheese.
Now
What is this?
You know what?
Coconut.
Now I want beers and wings, okay?
Did you survey us to see whether we wanted charcuterie or beers and wings?
Yeah,
Or did you make an
Kyle.
assumption based on our gender?
Based on our gender.
Kyle.
Or was it just the aesthetic?
Look at his face.
Or was it just
This is what this is. I asked each one of you all individual.
No, you didn't.
Wet.
Which one? Cheese.
this idea? I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I asked you all specifically, would you be down for a girls' night wine and cheese?
Oh my god, yeah.
But did you say, hey, I have this or a beers and wings night?
Oh, so who would actually vote beers?
The
and
night
wings?
we met,
Wait, can
you
we
were like,
actually?
do you want to do my podcast?
I wanna know.
Ladies and it's wine and cheese. And I was like, okay.
So who would pick beer and
Hold on.
wings?
It's equal.
Hold on.
Pick beer and wings.
This one here is drinking non-alcoholic drink, so you're not even drinking. You were doing the same. So why would you all drink
She likes
beer?
chicken wings.
Baby,
You don't alcoholic
She
beer.
loves chicken wings.
You like wings? Over cheese and wine?
Nah, bro. We
Hola!
I am also lactose intolerant, so this was a mistake.
lactose intolerant.
Yeah, I wish I can't get that much cheese.
I see how it is.
I mean,
You see, if I invited guys over for wine and cheese, they would have been like, whoa, Douglas, you did an amazing job. And then if I told them I'm gonna have the girls over for beer and wings,
It was a bad reaction.
they're not gonna like that. They would probably say that, but you all are like,
I mean, if I know it's on the menu,
now I
I
actually
should
want
line
to
up
know
my
too.
house beforehand. So I
Yeah,
can just
yeah.
be polite and then take little nibbles and stuff.
Okay, no,
And leave the
before
rest
you
for everybody
ask your
else.
question, who would actually vote for beer and wings over wine and cheese? Beer and wings, everybody raise their hand.
I would
like
vote
beer and wings.
Yeah.
Wine and wings.
But this is beautiful.
Or beer and cheese.
Beer
beer and
cheese.
cheese.
Beer and cheese.
No, that's
I do it in the train all the time. Yeah, you get a cheeseburger with beer.
I mean, you know,
You
at
get
the
wine
end of the
and
day,
cheese.
free food is free food. So I appreciate it.
All right, let's wrap this one up, and then everybody can use the washroom and whatever, and then
We're gonna be fist fighting.
we'll do segment 2, and then we'll get into the gifts.
Yes.
I have gifts. Guys are not gonna get gifts. You think I'm gonna go out and buy gifts for guys?
Aww.
You should. Boys should buy each other presents.
They should have flowers.
Also flowers, yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Josh bought me a blanket for my birthday.
Isn't that so nice?
He's a real one.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
I bought a boy flowers recently and it was so great.
Yeah.
He was like, nobody's ever given me flowers before.
Was he appreciative of it?
Yeah, he was so happy.
That's nice.
It was really, yeah.
Because guys don't get flowers all the time.
No.
It's okay to be sensitive. That's what most men just think is like toxic or just.
Have I ever gotten flowers?
Or they think like it goes
Somebody,
against
you deserve
what-
flowers.
I don't think anybody ever got me
Hey, yo,
flowers.
everybody buy Douglas flowers tomorrow. And we'll fill this apart.
We're all gonna fucking show up. We're gonna like stagger
In this whole group here, maybe one person might do it, but
Who?
I'm just saying.
Tell me who you
I just, it's not a who, it's I said maybe. That's the, I'm doing it.
Now we actually all have to do it. We do.
And then he said, I don't care what you said, I'm going to do it. But then he didn't do it.
You're right. You're right. I was late. I'm sorry.
When was your birthday again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was after mine. I was in Mexico, sorry.
Lucky girl.
Yeah, Capricorn.
Hey, I have a question for you as a man and a room full of women right now. When
Mhm.
women wear lingerie, do you actually appreciate it?
Yes.
Yeah. Not just you, because I know you, but like men in I know that you're the type of person who would appreciate it, but men in general, do y'all appreciate it, or do you just like blaze over because you're like,
No.
Just like take it off.
naked woman?
No. Sometimes it depends on the mood and the stuff, because a lot of times in the heat of the moment, everything just looks so aesthetically pleasing
You're like titties. Oh my god.
that you're just like, you just want to, go in there and then, That's all I'm going to say,
Okay, so you do appreciate it, but
Yeah.
not always.
I had this one girlfriend. most organized person I've ever met. And I think I'm organized, but this person was on a whole other level. When you pull their drawer, they had bras laid out in color coordination. And then you pull the other drawer, it was like you're in La Senza or something like that. The fuck, there's drawers and just everything was just. And we lived together for 2 years. And us living together was the most peaceful thing ever. Because we were so organized and if they're cleaning, I'm cleaning. If they're not cleaning, I'm not cleaning. So everything was just organized. Clothing, color coordination, everything was just like neat. Like you look at my closet, it's white to dark. Everything is just, you pull my drawers, I fold my underwear a specific way. So everything is just, yeah. But you just come home and you're like,
I didn't say anything. All it takes is one night. One night where you're like, oh, I'm going out tonight. And you're you got like underwear there, you got shirts on the floor, pants in the corner.
no, but I've seen that person.
You've seen my room, bro.
Question. Do you think you're capable of taking care of another man's child?
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
I've done it. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. With conditions, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't engage with like a messy baby mama broken family situation because that's going to be awful for everyone. But if they had a good co-parenting or the other parent wasn't in the picture, absolutely.
I agree.
In the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, don't introduce me to your kid in the first 5, 6 months.
Introduce right away.
Absolutely not. 6 months bare minimum.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to the kid even.
Where I am,
This could be your mommy and then your daughter to meet because
Exactly.
like actually we don't vibe.
where I am in life, I would say absolutely not. That's a deal breaker for me if I'm gonna be real. Like, I can't fall in love with a kid and then fucking have to deal with a piece of shit man because I want to be close to this child.
No, I'm talking about like you're interested in the person.
Well, no, but like either way, I can be interested in the person and then turn into a piece of shit, but still be in love with the kid.
Yeah.
You know?
That was the situation with my parents.
Yeah. You know, like I can't right now. No, do not bring a child into
Chloe, you got something to say.
It's too real. I'm just in that situation right now.
Yeah.
It sucks. It does suck.
because like
It
it's
sucks.
a child. I can't hold the child accountable for the bullshit that went through me and their parent. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with them. This is a beautiful kid. I want to be a part of their life. You want to take that away from me? No, I'm gonna deal with your fucking shitty ass in order to be a part of this kid's life. Absolutely not.
That's a hard thing though, because even my parents, like my stepmom, she's not my stepmom anymore. She hasn't been for 12 years, but she was my mom for a while for a number of reasons. But like her and I's relationship is so amazing. And now
that's your mom.
Yeah, like, well, I have my mom as well.
Well,
But
yeah.
like my mom and her too, they got along so well. At the beginning, like everything was a shit show for the first 13 years of my life. And then after that, like she's my second mom, genuinely.
Yeah.
That's
She
sweet.
hasn't been there.
And she's not with what you're saying is like she's not with
Yeah,
your
they
dad anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
right.
when I was 13, and even every time they're from Ontario. Every time I go visit them, I only stay with my stepmom, who hasn't been for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And even now that I'm in nursing school, every paycheck she'll send me a certain amount of money, but she's like, just make sure that you get through. And it's like, that's just crazy. So yeah, it really just like it's totally. Situation.
100%. And I'm not like doubting that either.
Totally.
Like I'm also the same thing. Like not necessarily with my mother's, but like my mom's great, but she's had a couple of failed marriages. Like I have a bio dad, and then I had a second stepfather, and now my dad, who's with my mom now.
Yeah,
that's my dad.
Exactly.
You know, and he came into my life when I was, I believe, 13, 14. You know, and I had no problems with that. You know, but just like with personal reasons and because of that previous experience, I'm like, no, like I don't want.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever do it, honestly. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Knowing that somebody having a child isn't your deal,
Totally.
but like, and I don't want to be that person. But I think like potentially as you get older, you might be more open to the idea. Because I'm like, do I even want to have my own baby? I don't know, but if I met the right person and I was like, I like you and the things you're doing, and you happen to have a child, that wouldn't bar me from being in your lives. But again, messy situations, bad relations on either side. Like if they're like, my baby mama's crazy, and I'm like,
Totally.
can I talk to her?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so like it could go either way. But yeah, I think in the right circumstance.
And do you all feel the same way if you had a kid also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's not,
Yeah.
you say you start seeing somebody, it's not their responsibility to take on the kid. If they choose they don't want that, then that's that.
That's on them.
And that's fair.
Yeah,
Because you don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want somebody who's not ready for that anyways because it'll mess with your kids. So like,
You don't
I
get
mean, I'm a 22-year-old person who has no idea about children. But I'm just saying, I feel like it would mess with things if they weren't ready for it. So like, if they don't feel comfortable with it, then you don't want them anyways.
I have
Because you have
friends
to
who
be
have
with your
children, and that's the problem with dating. They're like, no one wants to date a single mom, and it's like, isn't that good though that these people are weeding themselves out because you don't want the person who's like, well, like that's your kid and you're my partner, and now you have to care for two separate people, and they don't care for each other.
Not only that though, but isn't it badass that a single mom can fucking take care of herself and be able to date on her own?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That is badass.
You know?
Yeah, and you never want it to be like that's your kid, right? Like that's not something that's ideal at all. Even my stepdad came into my life when I was 16, I think, and he's always been. He's really quiet. Like he doesn't talk a lot, but I know if I really needed something or anything, I know I could go to him and he would help me as if I'm his own kid. So it doesn't really matter whether it's like a toddler or not. Like if you're gonna marry somebody and you're gonna have somebody in your life when you have children, then they should be willing and ready to accept them as their family as well.
Totally.
And that goes either way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Those are some really deep answers.
You don't fuck
He's getting all
around.
emotional. Oh, there's
Clear
the
my
man
throat.
there.
Let's clear that up. Get the manliness back intact.
It's okay to be emotional. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Can you rebuild genuine trust with your partner after finding out they cheated?
No.
Fuck no.
I think some people can. I'm not one of them. I think some people can.
If they know that they messed up and they own it and they're like, I want to fix this. But if they're like still being shady or like making excuses or being like, well, you did this too, like, I think it could be possible if someone like truly owned and came to you, was like, this past weekend I did this thing
Always
and
gonna
I'm
be in the back of
sorry.
your head.
Yeah. Sentiment and formed through it. You know?
I think if they truly owned it, because I've not cheated, but I've made mistakes.
Never?
No, I've never cheated. But like, I think you can rebuild trust, but someone has to fully own it. Like they have to fully take responsibility and show you that they want to learn from their mistake and that they're like, I'm never going to do this again because I did it and I know what led me there.
Yeah,
And
I
what
feel like
does your
that's so case sensitive.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not saying everybody, but
yeah, it would never leave my mind. I'd be like, every time he goes to touch me, I'd be like, did you touch her like that?
Exactly.
You're like, he strokes me.
It's so funny. You're like, whose perfume is this? Or it could just be like nothing at all. Just be like no hair, no nothing.
Nah,
Like,
even
all
the
right,
fucking
so
jokes you
then
make when you're
who's
like,
the
oh, must have been your
bald
other
no
girlfriend.
smelling bitch then?
Okay, but my question is, what would the other person have to do in order to make that person that did cheat feel like that the relationship is going to be okay? Like that reassurance if they choose to rebuild it. Like,
You mean like,
you
what
know,
would the non-cheater have to do to make the cheater feel like it could be rebuilt?
yes. Yes,
I mean-
because that could also break it in an extent as well.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
that's
mean?
a hard
That's
twist.
it's a different kind of way to look at it, you know?
I went to high school with this girl, and we kind of like went our own separate paths in university, but we were really close in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents cheated on each other, and during our friendship, her family life was just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of recrossed paths in university, and her parents have rebuilt their trust, are together, and I believe, like I know them, I know who they are as people, I've seen them.
Yeah.
I believe that they really have rebuilt their trust. Like they genuinely seem like they have an amazing, successful, happy, healthy, communicative relationship. and I think that's awesome. So I feel like I've seen it happen.
I think the difference.
I can't do it. I don't
The
think
difference between that, I think, though, is the fact that they both cheated. They both felt like they weren't getting something out of the relationship.
One makes a difference.
Yeah, because I feel like when it's one person that cheats, it's because they're like, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm too coward
To do
anything about it. So I'm gonna go back and hurt you.
Yeah.
You're eventually gonna find out somehow. Even if it's not during the relationship, you're gonna find out eventually.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it's two people, if they're cheating, it's because they're mutually not.
unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's something
that's
that they
different because
do.
it's like you collectively work on it versus like somebody being like, oh my god, I'm so in love with you, and you're out with what's her name, you know?
And what did you see them do in order to get better? Did you see anything that changed from the first time that you saw them compared to when you saw them again? You know, when you came and crossed
I don't really want to air out like their.
I totally
But
understand.
I understand your question. Like I'm just gonna say no. Like I didn't see anything. I don't. There was, but I don't.
But you don't. Yeah,
I
you
was
don't know.
there, but I don't know.
It's also hard too because couples are different, like behind closed doors too.
Totally.
Like when they show you
Yeah.
face wise versus
100%.
like when they're alone. So like, you honestly, even if you did like say, we're good friends. Say my man cheated on me, but I was like, but I'll take you back. You would have no idea what I was doing or how it was going behind my bedroom door, or not even bedroom door. Front door. Closed door.
I'm gonna use you all here as to do a ratio thing. So basically, on the room right now, I'm getting that no, you're not able to do the rebuilding of trust. That's what the room is saying right now.
Don't think.
I think it's possible.
You can rebuild, but will it ever be to the same strength?
That's true.
They always talk about like you smash a dish and you can put it back together, but it's still gonna have chips, and those chips could crack.
Yeah.
So I think someone could cheat, and you could go to therapy, and you could build, and you could work on it, and you could have open and honest trust, and you could have a happy and fulfilling relationship. But those cracks will always be there.
And it would take less to make those cracks crack.
Bingo.
Right?
And
So,
when
like-
you just want to restart with somebody new, like you're already restarting with this person.
That's also true.
So why
But
would
at the
you
same
want
time, people
someone-
make like I said, my ex, I got the hey girly text and whatever, but I was like, oh, we're like this deep in the relationship, and I kept telling myself, I'm like, relationships take work, whatever that means.
That's why I said this on the last podcast, so I'm going to say it again. Every single person I meet, whether it's a stranger in the street, whether it's people in here or whatever, I start everybody off at 100% trust.
Yeah.
And you fuck up, as you fuck up through my life and you do dumb shit, the trust level decreases.
Yeah.
And there's a certain level where you're gonna message me and say, yo, what's good? I haven't heard from you in a long while. And it's just gonna be on red. It's gonna stay there and you'll never hear from me again. The trust starts with me at 100% and then you move down. And as you reach like, let's say 65 is the passing mark.
Wow.
So as you hit like 75, there's little things you do because like, okay, for instance, let's say I give you my car every Tuesday. And every time you bring it back, I give you it in a full tank. And every time you bring it back, it's like 25, like half, 25% full, whatever. And I'm like, yo, you didn't fill it up. And then I'll trust you to go to the bar, but I'm not going to trust you to drive my car. That's what I mean. I'm not meaning like in entirety. So it's just different levels of trust. So I might trust you in certain areas, but you lose my trust in this specific area.
Yeah, it's like people have like party friends and then they have like actual friends.
Yeah. So I don't see anything I've never ever rebuild a relationship with anybody from my past. Because whatever ended the relationship, it's for a reason. And that's just me. I've seen people go back and I haven't heard from you in a long while. Oh my God, and blah, 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 whatever. No, it's...
That's it.
The trust is done.
You're done. Sorry.
Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
That's true.
That happens all the time.
Period.
So I have a next question based on that one. Would you ever consider, is there any specific ex that you would consider getting back with?
No. There's an ex I would consider speaking to, but not someone I would ever consider getting back together with. There are some closed doors or some doors that I would like to close. That would be the only thing.
Yeah, them doors are locked.
Yeah.
No Nobody's
No,
gonna
no.
Had the key.
I thought maybe
No.
Courtney's things.
Yeah, like
I have seen all but one of my exes within the last 30 days.
Ooh.
Not necessarily intentionally, but they all popped up.
yeah.
That happens.
It's the start of the year.
Once you see one, then you see another.
It was like hours apart.
Yeah.
So my longest relationship and my first love, and I was like,
That's
friends. Would I take any of them back?
Mm-hmm.
used to think I
I would like maybe like date one of them casually again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like delve into something deep. But there's like maybe one like
the sex was good?
yeah.
Thanks for one night only. Is that
Yeah, I would go back for the sex.
And on any bad note, like it just
That's valid.
It deteriorated
totally valid.
slowly.
Yeah.
No. Well, it didn't end for any particular reason.
No, it'd be the hot angry, like I haven't seen you in forever, but I miss this sex.
You know, you what?
I'm dating my ex.
I've been living with
She
him
got
for
the
2
tea and the
years.
biscuit.
So how did that happen? And why did it break up the first time? And why did you get back together this time?
First loves, and we were like,
Oh,
yeah, we were
yeah.
young, you know, like we were growing, and it just happened to just break up, you know, teenagers, and then
I've read this book.
yeah, literally. And then he contacted me when he was with his ex, is like trying to be friends, and I was like, nope, like this is we're not gonna be just friends. Like I mean, I was with my ex, and I was like, yeah, it's not. No, this is not how it's gonna be. And then we both broke up with our ex partners there, and then we decided to say, hey. And that's so we're living together. So no, it was like we actually weren't even dating when we decided to actually move in with each other. It was weird. Like we've known each other for like 6-7 years now. So like I've known him for a long time, and I think it's really depending on the person. Really, like it's like it's been a work in progress for sure. Like it's.
But I feel like you need to be depth.
Yeah, like you know, like if it's like definitely like the right kind of person to be able to grow and work with, like but like any of my other exes, fuck no, like no.
So would you say with your current man, was it like right person, wrong time kind of?
Yeah, totally.
Most
definitely.
Most definitely.
My mom and stepdad dated in the 80s.
Yikes.
And then they broke up, then they both got married, had kids, and then got divorced, and now they're married.
Yeah.
So,
I know we've even talked about it, like like if things don't work out for like our 20s, like he's like and then like if we have to grow on our own, that's fine. He's like, but I do want to keep you in like my life for like as long as I can. And it's like he doesn't talk about that with like anyone else. It's very specific. Like he's not a very emotional person, so I have no idea, but it depends on the person.
Yeah, that I could definitely.
It really depends on the
that I
person,
could
and I love him to bits. I really do, and like we have our ups and downs as every relationship does, but like I don't want to be with anyone else, and like I know for a fact.
Was he
Good for you, girl.
Yeah.
Was he one of those two where you always kind of had a love for him?
Oh,
Is that my
100%. Like as soon as we met, like we were like best friends, and it just grew from there. And like
She talked about him a lot.
oh yeah, like we've just always had that kind of connection, no matter what. And everyone was like, "You guys kind of have to talk," and I was like, "No," and so. Yeah, we're going on like 2.5 years of like official now. We're only 21, we're young, so it is what it is. What happens. But we're happy, and it's been a connection since we've been the age of 14, 15. So
That's good shit, yo.
yeah,
Good for you, girl.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
thank
one.
you.
Do
Yeah,
your thing.
yeah.
I applaud that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I would also let it known that no, I've decided I would not date him. We laid out the pros and the cons, and ultimately, in case my girlfriends watch this, the answer is no across the board.
Okay, this is not the end of the segment, but it's a partial scenario. You're friends with an individual. You like the person as a friend, but the person sees you as more than a friend.
that sucks.
Uh-oh. Friend zone.
They don't want to be in the friend zone. they want to be in the main zone. How do you navigate that?
I've lost really good friends that way, and it's just so shitty.
Yeah.
And like it's happened to me like multiple times, and it's really sad, and that sucks.
Because it kind of cuts off
So
part of your life.
it does, and I love them as friends, and then.
Did you ever feel obligation though to be more? Because I've been in that situation and I was like, oh, like he likes me a lot. And I'm like, we hang out all the time. We're really good friends. We're super close. And then you confuse like loving them as a friend versus like being in love with them. Because that's what happened to me where I was like, wait, maybe I like you because he liked me.
Yeah.
So then, he's flirting. Next thing I know, I'm like, do I like you? And then like we dated for literally a month. Like I broke up with him on our 1 month anniversary. And I was like,
This was stupid.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We're homies, bro.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
But then did he cut you out? Because that's what happened.
It took 9 months, and I haven't talked to him in like 3 years. And honest to God, if you ever see this, I'm not gonna name drop you, but if you ever see this, I miss being your friend with my whole heart. And you hate me, and that's fine. No, but like if you didn't hate me, we would still be homies for sure. But it was just like a definite like. There was like an interesting, and I was going through a rough time too in my life, so like I was leaning on him because he was just there all the time. Like he'd just come to my house, he'd bring me food, he'd do all this stuff, and then like I confused my love for him as a person with like affection. Yeah,
I
like,
read that
beyond
once. Like the reason why you like really start to care for someone or love them is for the things that you do for them.
Yeah.
And whether or not they ask you to do it or not. So that probably could have been the thing too, like, wow, I'm doing so much for her. And
yeah, and he was lovely. Like, honest to God, I fucked up. I'll admit that with my whole heart. Like, I fucked up in the way that I handled the situation. And I lost my friend because of that. But like, he was a lovely person. So it was like, how could you not love somebody who's so lovely? So then I was like, I'm stupid. Like I should be with this person because they're doing all these things and they're like taking care of me and showing me affection.
Yeah, but life has that way of giving you things that you don't know that you need.
Yeah, and I misinterpreted it, right?
Yeah.
Like I got it confused with one thing and the other, and then now we don't speak, and that's really sad. But it's kind of hard to not get the two mixed up. Yeah,
Especially when you're lacking.
Yeah, and I was
so
lacking.
yeah, severely. Like it's easy to kind of like lash onto somebody who's like, here, I'll give you that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I've had sort of. Go.
I feel like it kind of depends on if you want this friendship, like how much this friendship matters. Because like, if it's a guy who's like, what was the question? Like, it's a guy.
You can put on the wine. So
basically, if your friend is giving you signals that they want to leave the friend zone,
they want to be more.
Yeah.
They're not down.
They want to be in the main
How do you deal with it?
How much does this friendship matter to you? Like, do you want this person in your life enough to be able to be rejected and then still be
Come back to me. Come back. No, but the thing is, rejection also like it messes with a person.
it does.
Like, because then you have to deal with like the not necessarily shame, but like it's embarrassing when somebody is like, "Nah, I don't want you."
But why?
Why is it embarrassing?
There's no point to it, dude.
it's not something like I've been in that situation before where I was broken up with someone and like I went through heartbreak and I was just like, I never knew I could feel something like that. And one of my friends was like, and that's most likely because you are like ashamed or embarrassed or like you don't know how to deal with rejection. I was like,
and that's what it means. Yeah.
Okay, so and I've been in a situation where I've had this guy friend. Being in the military and having a guy friend and being this close, it means that part of the start of my military career could be completely cut off if it goes the wrong way. And I went on a date with him because same thing, he checked all of my fucking boxes. I'm from Alberta, I wanted a redneck, fucking guns, quads, bikes, this, that, and the other. And he literally checked all the boxes and he was a great guy, loved him to bits. But because I was too familiar with him, I couldn't, take that step in order to like him that way. And it has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him not checking all my boxes, this, that, and the other. It's because I'm like, there are too many things that are weighing on this decision that could affect it poorly, that it'll completely fucking tidal wave my entire life. You know, like I can't do it. So went on a date, it was great, everything like that. But yeah, that's what I ended up saying. I'm like, I can't, we are too familiar. I like you a lot as a friend, but I can't continue. I apologize. My feelings will never change.
Yeah.
But he rides quads.
But he rides quads.
He rides bikes, bro.
She might
I'm not one for it.
But I feel like that's why it's like, oh, he should have a friend.
I have rejected 2 friends, and it hasn't been a major issue. But we didn't hang out a lot right after, and they were not men. So I'm not trying to imply, but I would
But
say,
I'm trying to imply.
but I'm maybe loosely trying to imply the queer folks do maybe a bit better receiving rejection and just roll. Like, I feel like it really wasn't a big thing. Like, we just kind of, I think actually I have a third friend who's a guy. And again, he just rolled with it.
I was gonna say, one of my best guy friend, our relationship started as like a thing. And like he rejected me, and then I was like, damn, that. Oof.
Well, you have to take a moment.
I was like, oh, okay. And then, we didn't talk for a little while, and now, like, I literally Snapchat him every day. I'm like, oh, I ate a piece of bread today. He's like, that's great, Liv. Like, we talk all the time, and we're all good. But it definitely took a moment where I was like, I can't talk to you because I'm like, oh my God, he doesn't want me. Like, you just need that moment where you're like, I just have to deal with this rejection and then I'll be fine. But like, I think it's definitely possible to stay friends.
Yeah. I feel like if your friendship is important enough and matters enough, then that little bump of like rejection doesn't have to define your platonic friendship from now on.
Really?
I feel like that's what I was trying to say.
It always depends on the
It just
person.
depends on
everything. What I've learned tonight, everything is dependent on context.
Yeah.
So I just want to go off topic a bit. So one time my ex and I, we met up just to go for dinner because we were cordial with each other after the breakup or whatever. And then I just want to know you guys' perspective on this. I don't know if it's a thing or whatever, but the conversation, when we got to the restaurant, as I said, remember at the beginning I said, if we're dating or whatever, and you demand certain things or whatever, and I do those things for you or whatever, and you accept it, then that's going to be how I treat you going forward or whatever. So when we got to the restaurant, pulled out the chair, she sat down, menu came. Normally we used to go out every Friday, so when the menu came, I ordered for me and for her. That's just something that she liked. She didn't like guessing and fucking figuring out whatever. And she's like, I have to vent. And she was like basically saying that she's been dating and all the guys that she's been dating has long nails.
Ooh.
Like,
sorry, what?
not like weird. Yeah, not like.
That's on the menu.
No. I'm gonna get to it. Not like.
They had long nails.
Not like they went to the salon and get their nails done.
But bro, then
they didn't trim their nails, and like they had like their pants below their waist and shit like that.
Why?
So they were gangsters.
I'm just
That's the gnarliest gangster I've ever heard.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, is the long nails with a guy not trimming his nails, is that like a
I don't want to be fucking blind when he's fingernails. If he's got dirt underneath his fingernails, yeah, it's a fucking problem.
Not even that, bro. That shit will scratch you up.
He's like, I don't want to be fingernails. That's like a recipe for infection.
Get out of my fucking face. I know I got long nails, but I need to start cleaning them every
No, but you're also not putting it. Well,
It's not even
Toenails. If your toenails cut me while I'm sleeping, that's over.
Toenails for me, then fingernails.
Toenails.
Toenails
it's confusing because like he obviously likes looking at his nails, but then he's got his pants sagging below his ass. So it's like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
A transition?
So
I'm confused.
okay, I'm okay. So
Oh, what's it?
I know all of you.
No offense.
All of you all except him is bisexual. So I'm gonna just say I'm gonna talk for guys. So you meet a guy. In your eyes, he's a 9 or 10, but he sags his pants.
No.
What is he?
No.
Now?
He's not a 9 or a 10 anymore.
No, looks, aesthetic wise, like looks. He's a
4.
So he jumps up 4.
You know what?
Yeah.
What would make the difference is what's his personality like? Because you're like, can I change him? Like, can I make this dude else? Or is he just like this for good, you know?
Yeah.
But why would you want to change him?
Like, does he have no style and it's
Because
just like
he's
not
not-
his thing, or is that his style? Because there's a difference.
So you would accept a dude who is sagging, but he has a little bit of flavor.
Other way around.
No,
Other
if
way
they have
around.
no style, they're
Then you
like,
can
I just
influence
wear
it.
whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't know what to buy. Do you want to buy my clothes? I'll be like, yes, give me the credit card. Like, no problem.
Keyword, get
But if it's like, you're like, this is my style, and I love it.
On the topic of buying clothes, I'm gonna ask this question because I asked it. I think I asked it in the last podcast. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna ask it again.
Shit, it's okay.
Is a person? Somebody told me that this is too controlling.
Just do it. Jesus.
They said this is too controlling. If you're living with a dude,
Thank you.
you come home from work on a Friday. There's 2 pairs of shoes and 2 dresses laid out for you, and he's like, "We're going out for dinner tonight." Is that too controlling, or is that too?
What if I don't like either dress?
Be like,
If I put it on and I don't feel good, or if I don't feel like it fits me, then no. But if I put it on and I feel hot, then that's great.
Yeah.
So if he, it's gotta be like if he really knows what I want to wear and my size for starters.
Okay, size is good. Everything fits good. You like the dress.
Yeah, that's
is it
great.
controlling or not?
At this time,
No, it's
It
controlling.
depends on my mood because if I'm not feeling sexy that night, I don't
Every time I go somewhere, I put your outfit.
But if you have
say,
2 and it's an
"These look
option,
good on you," I'm taking you out. Absolutely.
But to be clear, I tell my partner what to wear. Like, I'm the controlling.
It's something.
You're like, I laid an outfit out for you, and it's totally fine.
So like fucking pulling masculine feminine energy into it, being someone in the Navy, having to be in my mask energy all the time, going home and having a fucking hot dress and a pair of heels that are brand new with the price tag still on it.
Why do you need to see the price tag?
Well, like whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like if I'm going home to that kind of shit where it's a new dress and new shoes, right? And someone telling me to do that, I'm like, oof, okay, done. Whatever you want, I'll suck your dick on the fucking way there. You know, like, right? Because I don't get that on my 24/7 day-to-day schedule. You know what I mean? If it's a Saturday night when I get it randomly, 100%, whatever you want. Whatever you want. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that because I was only in one relationship where I did that and it was cool with the other person.
Like it's because they want to see you in that. It makes you feel
special.
Like,
Yeah.
that's so much effort and
Yeah, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah. Thought into it.
Yeah.
And even if you're like, no, I don't want to wear either of these. If you're like, fuck you, then it's like, okay, what's going on here?
Okay. I got 2 more questions and then we'll jump into take like a 5-minute break and then we'll jump into
The finale?
the finale.
I'm good.
This one is a weird question. It's kind of awkward, but I'm gonna ask it. What are your thoughts on somebody fetishizing you?
No.
Love
In
it.
what way?
Like you're a different race and you're like
Nah.
It's really interesting how the first person to say I love it was not a person of the global majority.
Wait, you said that?
I didn't say
No,
that.
I did.
Exactly.
I did.
I was like,
fantasize
So, okay.
Totally.
Fantasize.
Not
fantasize.
I'm like, I'm
Well, I guess, but I'm a blonde too, right? Everybody wants a blonde girl. Let's
Yeah,
play
actually,
with
I went on a
fucking
date
style.
with the dude the other day, and
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, Canadian men just love Swedish blondes." And I'm sitting there with my black ass. I'm like, "Hello."
Yeah.
Say that to my face. He told me, "Oh my god, we just love Swedish blondes with Australian accents," is what he said, and I was like,
blondes with Australian accents.
So I couldn't.
and I was like, "I'm black." So
That's the thing too, like a lot of guys, if they're not of your race, not a lot, but some, they'll be like, oh, like I'm
you're so
interested in you.
exotic.
Yeah, you're so exotic, blah, blah, blah.
Or
Did you see this? My ex, he loved exotic women.
what the fuck does
I
that
want you
mean?
in the summer when I get really dark and I go full curly. He's just like, oh, you look so exotic, and I'm just like, all of your sisters are blonde. I'm really glad that you're telling me that you like that I'm exotic.
Yeah.
Or I hate when, cause like guys that try and like date out of their like race, they're just like, oh, you're nice and whatever for a black chick, and I'm like, what does that fucking mean?
Not unrelated, but just funny. I'm chilling with Bree. You guys maybe know her. And her auntie is Filipina. Shout out Bree. And her auntie walks in the room and she's got language barrier and whatever. She looks at me and she goes to Bree. She's like, she's pretty for a black. And I was like, thanks. I was like, oh, okay. I'm just like, language barrier. Like, she didn't mean it in a type of way, but the way that I sat there and I was like,
Wait,
doing the mouth in my head, I'm like, what does that mean?
You're like, can I yell at this?
Yeah, I'm like,
When
yeah.
it comes to dating too, though, like when guys of like the opposite race or whatever it is, and like they're just interested in dating you for a certain period of time to like check off a box. It's not because they're actually interested in you, and that's like the hardest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, because then you don't
come
have
at
matter as
my
a
ex.
person.
Exactly.
To like you're just
They're like, oh, just another quest. Here
He's
we
like,
go.
ooh, I've never dated a black girl before.
But then I've also experienced that scrutiny, like, because when I moved from the States to Canada, I've had that, why do you talk like that kind of questions. It's like, you don't sound like the typical black chick in the States.
I've had that.
And then just be like, oh, where are you actually from? And then it's like Canadian.
Yeah.
So they be all in their southern accent, be like, hey, yo, shawty, let me get you number and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then be like, why do you talk like that?
Yeah.
Be like, what? Like I went to school?
Yeah, no, and that's how it is.
No,
though.
just like,
I
I'm assuming
knew a
you
guy.
from the ATL and all that shit. Just be like, nah, man. Just,
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know that.
literally been told I'm whitewashed so many times.
Right?
Because I'm from Canada. I don't use slang.
Well, firstly, a lot of people also mix up AAVE, which is African American Vernacular English, and that's only from a specific place. Not every black person is going to speak with AAVE, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
Especially like black Canadians. If you're from Alberta, you do not use AAVE. So when you're speaking that way, like it makes no sense.
Right, how come you don't understand your
from? Because I've never heard of that.
Like it's specifically like southern, like east southern states, like Atlanta, like just Georgia, Louisiana, those areas.
And what does it sound like?
It's a specific accent. It's like what people stereotype as a black
Really?
accent.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, like you sound white. No, I speak Canadian English.
Yeah.
It's not, like, it doesn't matter what my race is. It's where I'm from.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but I've literally been told, oh, you're so whitewashed because I don't speak like that.
Yeah.
And like,
you're like,
I don't know, I was raised by like my mom's British.
No.
And I'm like, yeah, sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't grow up like that, so it's just how it is. But like, the way that they diminish, like, your culture, but then also like so you have that's a black guy that I talked to at one point, and then I have a white guy who's like, oh my god, you're so exotic. So it's like,
or like, why do you only date white guys?
Yeah, like as a mixed person, you get
seriously, is that thing too?
Or just like, why do you go against the black guys? I'm like, I'm not. They going against me.
No, I literally saw something and it was like, black men date women, and it's like a Gucci belt. It's like, oh, we go out, we show her off, whatever, because it's like you're up if you're dating, like as a black guy, if you're dating a white woman.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this from my perspective.
I forgot I have a black guy sitting beside me.
I have cousins in the States, and they always message me, yo, you're always, I'm like, listen, I live in a predominantly white
place,
country.
Yeah.
I'm like, before I moved to Victoria, I was living in fucking Barrie.
Yeah.
Barrie, Ontario. So if you like, I have to literally go outside with a magnifying glass and looking for a black chick, right? But like majority of the people around you are of a different race other than yours. So I'm a minority. So I'm not gonna limit my options to one ethnicity because I'm like, oh, I'm only interested. I'm like, I ain't got no type.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bitches.
So that's how I just kind of like, I'm a people person. I've dated all types of different people. I'm not into the whole, obviously aesthetics and beauty matters, but I've vibed with people and been attracted to them. And other people have been like, oh, you're not.
Pretty in any type of way.
Yeah.
You can be blonde
Yeah, you're
pretty,
not-
You can be black pretty. You can be Asian pretty. Like everybody can.
Not
be
even that.
pretty.
Some people have a vibe.
Or a vibe.
And you can tell them, and this person is like, yo, I really like hanging out with this person because I vibe with them.
Like you.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's just a cool vibe. It's just like you can talk to this person about anything. It's no fucking, oh, I don't like what you said this time. Like, I like people who are straight up, like, you know, just tell me what's on your mind. I tell you what's on my mind. We might have a disagreement. Fuck you, fuck me, blah, blah, blah. And then we move on and it's good. And that's like a vibe to me. Like, if I meet somebody who is like, I could just tell anything to and just talk with them and they understand my perspective and I can understand their perspective and they know that none of our perspective is 100% right, but we get each other. That's a big like turn on for me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like it's my way or the highway, then it's a highway.
Yeah. Pack your bags.
Yeah. All right. Y'all ready for the scenario for
Ready.
the end of segment? Sarah's face.
What? No, I was just thinking about something. That's
Listen,
what you were thinking about.
I swear on my life, your mean look could kill them. You see them Canada goose that don't give a fuck? Them motherfuckers would lie down and roll over.
Cobra chicken. She killed cobra chicken.
I get this
That's awesome.
spot. Yes.
It's a look to
She
kill you.
doesn't
It's like,
understand, but it's it's real.
I'm not a cold person. I just come across it.
No, Florida people have the most bitchiest resting.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I'm so
actually,
caring.
I'm gonna start from this side.
So okay.
And everybody has to be quiet for this one. And I need to hear everybody's answer. And we're going all around
Get
the
into
table.
it.
Right?
Ready.
This one is gonna. This is. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I want to hear everybody's answer going around the table.
That's so funny.
Your best friend,
Uh-oh.
bestie, cheats. Well, your partner.
No.
Hold on. Your partner cheats on you with your bestie. Hold on. You have to kill one and continue the relationship with the other one. Who do you kill and who do you continue the relationship with?
I don't know. I don't got a bestie.
Kill your partner, continue the relationship with your bestie.
Yeah. You should know. This is not just because you're here.
We've been best friends since we were
I'm sorry,
two.
James. Like, yeah, definitely. I would keep this one and fuck you. There's I'm just kidding. I would definitely keep her. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I can't live without her.
Oh yeah.
I really can't. Like, in all honesty, I moved here because she is here. I can't live without her, in all honesty. She's been around since I was 2, so yeah. No,
All right, guys.
there's no way.
Metaphorically kill the partner.
Metaphor.
Metaphor.
And
Yeah.
keep your bestie.
Metaphorically, yeah.
I'm probably.
No. You have to kill one and you continue the relationship with the other one.
I distance myself from the bestie, but I keep. But metaphorically,
I
kill
want
the
to
partner.
kill both.
No,
That's what I'm
listen.
saying.
Everybody's dead.
That's what I'm
You have
saying.
to kill one. This is the scenario. It's a scenario. It's not real. You have to kill one and continue your relationship
How long
with the
have you
other
been
one.
dating?
I feel like I would
That's a work. I want to know.
my
He's like,
partner and continue my friendship because
Like
my
what?
friendship's
You have
not
no choice.
romantic, but I would have to continue a romantic relationship if somebody cheated on me. But my friendship wouldn't be romantic, so I wouldn't have to. There would be no. I would
You
kill
don't
my
have to
partner. That's
fuck.
my answer. Yeah, you don't have
You don't
to
gotta
keep
fuck
fucking
your
your
own
bestie.
You lose that intimacy. You lose the ability to be fully intimate.
But
with
also,
someone.
it's hard though because your best friend, like, if I think of Brie, she knows more about me than my ex ever knew about me. Like I've told that
Then
girl.
wouldn't that
everything.
hurt more?
That's what I'm saying. So I might have to kill her. She might have to know. I feel more betrayed. Sorry, Brie. But I'd be like,
and get rid of your bestie.
I think I would feel more betrayed by my best friend who knows everything about me.
Yeah.
And like I've opened up to in ways that I haven't.
That bestie's gonna spread their legs for another person.
Yeah, she's done. Sorry, Brie. You're done.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
He's not getting his dick sucked ever again. But she's
Yeah, that's
What are you
valid.
gonna do?
Yeah, I would have to kill my friend.
Yeah. And I
Continue your
would
relationship with your.
Well, you can't continue I'm never gonna have sex with that person again. Like that's like.
But this is it's a scenario.
That's in the scenario.
You're saying like continue as if it never happened?
Yeah, you continue in your relationship with the person, whether it's friendship or intimate.
Yeah, so you're just not sucking dick anymore. You don't get that.
The scenario is that you would still be
Actually, sorry, reverse it. You're never getting pussy again. Sorry. I forgot that this has to go on the intro.
I ain't got no close girlfriends. I don't really have girl best friends. So I'd probably kill the girl and keep the boyfriend. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
It's your besties. It's actually
No,
your guy
what
best
about your
friend.
guy best friend?
That's what it is. It's your best. It's your best friend.
Even then, he lives in fucking Prince Rupert, which is Normandy's. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right? And the same thing. I ain't gonna get no dick.
The case scenario is all three of you live together.
Ooh.
Case scenario? Well, what if I just keep both of them?
I would kill the partner.
Kill a partner, keep your bestie.
Yeah.
But
I do agree that like the bestie probably actually would feel like a bigger betrayal.
Yeah.
But I love my bestie enough to probably
That's also
forgive
valid.
it.
That's
Like that would be worth like trying to repair.
Yeah.
Whereas the romantic one, I wouldn't want to repair it.
Okay.
It's a hard
I'm really struggling.
Did I sway you a little bit in the other direction?
Yeah.
I said that.
I just think the betrayal from the friend
That's
would
bad.
be like,
That's big.
It'd be worse.
that
for
would be
sure.
so much worse than the I feel like the partner I could come back from it with, but like I value the friendship more. So I just don't know.
I feel like secretly I never trust any man fully, but I trust my best friend fully. So if my
That's
best friend
exactly it.
did me
Yeah.
wrong like that, I'd be more hurt.
I don't know
I'd be so
I don't know
hurt.
if people are gonna disagree with me. My best friend is gonna die. I'll tell you why. When you get into a relationship with an individual, that person automatically becomes your best friend.
True.
If you're in a serious relationship, that person becomes your best friend because there's a thing called pillow talk, and people think that that's like, oh, it happens. Everybody do it. You tell whether you're a bisexual, straight, bend, whatever.
Bend.
I've had a bed.
The person that you're laying in bed with, a lot of times you tell them your deepest secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're laying in bed, and if you're really in a tight relationship, you tell that person everything. For somebody to call you your best friend, I've had, and I say this openly, I've had friends that I've lost up to this day who think that there was something going on between me and I gave them so much fucking hints. It's like, bro, like, look, here's the paperwork. And they just didn't see it until the end, and then they blamed me for not being vocal. So all I'm saying is this, is like, as a friend, if my best friend girl is coming on to me, and you have so much time, and I pull down my pants and you go through all this fucking bullshit to get in the person's pants or whatever, besides telling them like, yo, honestly, like something happened the other night and you're my homie and I think you should know, but your girl came on to me and I think you should know. That's what a real friend would do. But a friend is not gonna go and pipe your fucking girl and then be like, oh, we're gonna be buddies. Nah, you're not my friend. You piped my shorty and now you're like, you know. So he's gonna die or they're gonna die. and I'm gonna continue the relationship with the person, letting them know that this is what you did is wrong. So going forward, I'm not introducing you to any of my friends.
You get to stay in the house. I'll be back.
Honestly, that persuaded me.
Locked up.
I feel like
Wait, who were you killing? I forget.
My best friend is going in the grave.
Yeah,
that really persuaded
How can that person
me.
call you your best friend and ride your partner?
But what couldn't you say the exact same? How could that person call themselves the love of your life and then fuck your best friend?
Nah, you're
Because
right.
I have a very meticulous situation. And I don't want to call, this is real shit, and I don't want to call the people's name.
Call the name.
But no. I'm going to say something. No. I had a friend, and they found out. Okay, I'm gonna just put it out there.
What did you do?
No. I didn't do shit. I had a friend who found out my girl was talking to somebody else, and instead of confronting me and telling me like, yo, they went to the person and be like, hey, if you don't do this to me, then I'm gonna tell him what you're doing. So they blackmailed the person into having frivolous relationships with them.
What?
That's so
messy.
That's called brutal.
That's called rape.
So
essentially.
That's rape. Sorry.
allegedly,
Whoa.
the person said that didn't happen. But when I told the person that I was in a relationship with that I'm ending it, they just spilled the beans on everything that they did. And they told me everything. And they said, hey, I'm telling you everything. This is what happened. I believed them.
Mm-hmm.
But the person who is my friend never came clean.
Not your friend.
Nah, that's weak.
We should keep this car.
Beauty word.
That's crazy.
Beauty fucking word.
So
Imagine being I would bite.
I could never willingly, honestly, I have male friends, and when they introduced me to their female friends, hi.
Side hugs.
I'm not even like, look, I met you for the first time today, and like, I was like awkward to like, you know,
I'm not even a hugger, and I was like, oh.
So with me, it's like I'm very meticulous with my contact with people because people take things differently, and it's like, oh, hug me too close. If I'm interested in you, you're gonna know. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm fucking interested in you. I'm not gonna go and beat around the bush and Mary had a lamb and Boki lost a sheep. Jack and Jill is on the fucking hill. I'm not giving you no nursery rhyme stories. Humpty Dumpty on the wall. All that yeah. Want to buckle my shoe?
You'd be an amazing babysitter.
I'm giving you everything. I'm spilling the beans. And at the end of the day, if you tell me it's a no, then it's a no. I will move forward. But I'm not into the whole runaround thing. So
fuck the runaround, bro. I hate a nonchalant dude.
Fuck the runaround.
That's what I'm saying. I want. Just so you know, I'm possessive. I don't want. I'll tell you. Story time. No, but for real, nonchalant is not the fucking way. Like, if I have to guess, if you invite me out somewhere and I have to guess if you're into me still, even though we've already been talking or whatever, if I have to guess,
Yeah.
you're not, even if it's just like a hookup situation, then hook up with me. Don't make me feel like, does he want to hook up? Should I ask him if we're going?
I have a question for you all.
Shoot, man.
You meet somebody for the first time and everything is going okay, whatever. Do you all rather somebody beat around the bush with you to get to the end point, or you rather somebody just be like, hey, I'm interested in you?
What is beating around
Tell me
the
what
bush?
you want.
Do you mean like flirting and it's like it's obvious? Or
Beating around the bush is knowing that
really don't
you
know.
just want to hook up, but you don't want to say you want,
Yeah,
like,
you don't be like, I don't know if I
just be like,
but
just tell me straight up.
I don't want something.
Like,
Just I want to know.
I'm just saying, like, cool this around
Goodbye.
me.
Well, yeah. Next question though, do you feel? Whoa, I just.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just got in the splash zone.
Yeah, what's your question?
Would you rather know before you hook up with them that they're just trying to hook up, or would you rather know? But would you take it as presumptuous if you're like, say you're in the club, you know, bro's cute, he's looking fine, it's okay, we're playing footsies. He's looking fine, you know, he's dancing with you, whatever. If he comes up and he's like, I just want to fuck you, but like I'm not trying to talk to you, do you prefer that, or do you prefer to hook up? And then y'all for that.
In that environment,
Do not waste my time.
No, don't waste my fucking time.
It depends on the environment for sure.
Yeah. But when I used to do that at the club, they would be like I would just go up to someone and be like, do you want to come home with me?
No, they'd be like, oh, she has something.
They'd be like, so flustered and scared. Like, are you gonna men?
Don't do that. I'm telling you straight up, don't do that. The minute you walk up to, no, cause if you walk up to a guy, any woman walk up to me in the club and be like, hey, I'm going, like, I'm telling you straight up, no. I don't know what you have, I don't know what you're trying to give me, you can keep it.
But then you walk up to women in that club, like, how is it? Like,
I'm saying, if you can't be too, like, straightforward with it as a woman.
Oh, yes, you can.
I mean, it always is. Really, nobody ever said, really? Scared. Like, they were like, okay. Kyle, dick is a free currency for all men. Never forget that.
She said what she said.
So you've never gotten blind?
Never.
Never.
He was like, oh. You know what? The most common time I've been turned down was when my ex and I, who was a woman, we really wanted to have a threesome and could not get a guy who was down.
Because they're scared.
They're so scared.
I'm gonna tell you this.
So that was the most times I've ever been rejected.
On gang, I would swear right now. On gang.
He'd be there.
Listen. I've taken friends. There's a club in Toronto. The real ones know this. It's called Oasis Aqua Lounge.
Write it down. Okay. Sounds like a.
When you go in there in Toronto, it's like I was there from the initiation. I was one of the members who cut the ribbon. You're like. When you walk into the club, I'm gonna give you guys a whole thing. So you walk into the club. The bottom ground is like a stripper club. It has a pool. It has
things before.
I guess you
We know exactly what's on the second floor.
Sorry, but I feel like I've heard of people. It's like a sex club, right? And there's a hot tub.
It's an upscale sex lounge.
Yeah, it's a sex club.
I'm so sorry.
No, because there's sex club.
It's not a sex club.
Hold on.
Sex.
Listen. I could call this a sex club right now, right? But I'm just saying,
This is a sex club.
Is it a club fucking you?
No, it's a lounge. It's a lounge.
all I'm saying is this: it's an upscale sex lounge because in Toronto has multiple lounges, right?
What is a lounge?
A lounge is a place where you can go and have a conversation and share different perspectives on different topics.
Wait,
It's a
you're
lounge.
fucking because it's a sex lounge.
No.
Okay.
I can do that at a bar too. What do you mean?
Sorry, that was a genuine question. I never.
Wait, but I actually do have. Is it clothing optional?
When you go in there, if you have one clothes, you look like a weirdo.
Oh.
So everybody is naked.
Lingerie party.
Fully naked.
But as
Do they sanitize the chairs?
they do. They have people who go. Listen, you guys should pay me for this shit. I'm promoting you. But listen, as of recent, I'm just gonna shoot this out there, and who get angry, they can get angry. With the influx of people coming in from different parts of the world, they see this place as fucking treasure land. It's like, so before when you go there, it was a perfect ratio.
Uh-oh.
Now when you go there,
Like men to women?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
now when you go there, the ratio is crazy.
Put it together.
It's crazy.
Like it's all men and like a few women.
I went there, because I've been living here 4 years now. So I went there in 2018 and I went with the rules are really fucking skewed, but I like it. You can only go to the third floor if you're accompanied with a woman. So 2 men can go upstairs.
Yeah.
So a man and a woman could go upstairs, a man and 2 women could go upstairs, a woman and woman could go upstairs, but a man and a man can't go upstairs. What? And a man can. So it's skewed that way, but I kind of like it that way. Yeah. So when you go on the third floor, it's like sex heaven.
But for research purposes, I'm not trying to get involved. I just want to know.
Honestly, that's where I went, and that's when I got into like bondage and shit.
Yeah.
And they have classes. You can go in and log in on the calendar. They have calendar, and you can choose what you want to do and shit like that. So
but I think something like that only works. Like there's stuff like that here, but like I just would not go. Like you're for sure gonna run into somebody. You're gonna middle school. Like exactly. Like that's exactly it.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this straight up, and you guys might disagree with me. A lot of people aren't kinky. They say they're kinky.
No, and they just want to look.
It's a spectrum.
But a lot of people just want to look.
So when people hear sex lounge walking around naked, they're like, I ain't comfortable with that. Especially as men. If you're not blessed, you're not going there. You're like, fuck that shit.
See, I would expect people who aren't blessed would go there more because it's
they're the ones who are like.
One of my best friends, I hope she's watching this. If you she went to a sex club in Atlanta, and it was all the people that you wouldn't be like, yeah, I want to have sex with these people, but you're in that setting, and it's like, you know what? Yeah.
Fucking
she had the best time.
Really?
Yeah.
Your best friend's not home in her bed right now. She's like,
I hope she is watching.
She's gonna have a flashback tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You'd think it's a safe space if these are all like-minded people that you're not.
Because I feel like you don't go in there unless you're like, even if you're in there and you're not even for sure down, you're at least experimental. Otherwise, you're not trying to go into a place like that. Yeah. So like, it's got to be at least a little bit safe.
Are you eating wet coconut?
Yeah, it's actually nice wine. It's actually good.
I was soaked.
So before I end the segment, I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come here and express and give the world your thoughts and your opinions on relationship and dating topics. I'm going to try and get more deeper into different topics. Like, I don't want to get into politics. I don't think I can because of my job or whatever. But yeah, I'm really appreciative of you guys taking the time out to have the girls' night and just talk and shoot the shit. I think it's going to be a fun episode. And we'll end up with episode 4. I hope you all had a good time.
Thank you.
I know the ops, man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.